mind and matter, higher self, physical embodiment, metaphysical and physical, potential expressed, potential into matter. Hi, everybody. Today on the podcast, we're going to discuss 5 things I think everybody should know that I wish I knew as a young artist, creative. We're going to hop into these secrets. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Generation Watts podcast. My name is Kissey Asplund. I am the maker, the creator behind Generation Watts. We help people bring them from point A to point Z, teaching them the tools, teaching them the real tools that they need in order to explore who they can truly be in their careers, in their private lives, how you can really come into your resonance and be a full being of the beautiful capacity that you are, and then how you then implement that, how you come into your doing, how do you bring in these visions or equations or projects or life passions that you have, and then how do you make that sure that those are sustainable. With that said, today we're gonna make sure that you learn 5 things that I wish somebody has taught me. Number 1, learn the full method of creativity. Oftentimes when we are taught in our culture, when we learn in this culture how to be creative, how to implement creative methods and creative actions, it is a hyper focus on the actions themselves. There's not that much focus on how to become or increase your ideation capacity. There's not so much focus on how to intent and really make sure that what you are creating is of a particular value. Instead, focusing a lot on okay, this is how you take a photo, this is how you use aquarelle, this is how you use your body in order to perform a choreography. But there is always a timeless capacity that is behind the time-bound action. Those who are very, very successful, those who can come into those magical states, they get that there is a timeless capacity. Some call this a meditation. There is an intent that needs to be put through the art in order for it to resonate at a particular point. I think that this is something that we should teach everybody. I think we should teach all kids how to use the mindset, how to use the mind, how to use meditation in order to create. So art schools, the way I envision it, should not only have the method of creativity, but also the capacity of the innate creativity that we all have within. I think that is the lacking piece. I think that's why our culture looks like the way it is. It becomes very vain if you only focus on one side of how to achieve something. But if you look at the full method of what it actually takes in order to create something, you would, number 1, realize that creativity is the same method no matter what form or what project you're working on. There is an action method. There is a sequence that creativity moves through. It moves through the ideation, the hunch, the gut instinct, the feeling, the wanting to experience something, and then flourishing that into the physical form, into matter. So it's always mind and matter, or higher self and physical embodiment, metaphysical and physical, potential expressed, potential into matter. It's always working together. Number 2, you deserve to generate an income based on your talents. This is something that our society likes to segment. It likes to tell you that you can generate income over here, but you can't generate income over here. One of the things that I recall from growing up was that art, culture of various forms are the last step of a society that gets developed. If we refer back to my previous point of that creativity as a method and ideation that then comes into physical form, we can now see that that is a backward way of thinking about a culture. We have to have a sensation, we have to have a knowing, a hunch that a particular culture, a particular society is possible. That is a creative thinking. And then we have to go into creative actions in order to generate anything at all. Anything that you see around you, this is the chair, the building, the street, street, the car, or the clothes that you wear is a generation that somebody thought about and put into action in order for that to exist. Then there are more complexity about like energy exchange, money, and all of that stuff. But let's just focus on there has to be somebody that had a dream, basically, and then form that into matter. So this means that no matter what you are focused on, no matter what your purpose is, no matter why you are here in this reality, you deserve to have the full energy exchange of that. The misconception that many artists fall for, including a majority of the music industry, is that you are not allowed to generate income based on your talent. You're supposed to sit and wait for somebody to throw money your way. You're supposed to sit and wait for that opportunity to happen, for somebody to discover you, for you to be seen, for you to be acknowledged and pedestaled into that part of society where multiple riches will just automatically flow to you. And it doesn't work that way. That is absolutely a misnomer that put many artists in a problematic state. It's also part of the starving artist syndrome, which many people are familiar with. All of this are misnomers of what the creative ideation is and how energy actually works. You are in constant deservance. You are in constant wealth building, if you like. You're in constant abundance of wealth. But it also requires you to state this in your energy, you to send that out in your energy for others to basically reward you or to exchange that with you. So this is a very, very important intent to have. As I said to many creatives, somebody out there made a lot of money on your talents. Thinking that it's not worth anything and you can't make money is a distortion that is keeping you in a particular place, but is also generating a lot of money for other people. Maybe you want to reflect on why that is and how to turn that around. Number 3, take your skills, talents, capacity, abilities seriously. When I state this, what I'm referring to is that some people, and there's even science behind this, the research that shows that people can be talented up to a certain age, but at that particular age, I think Malcolm Gladwell talks about this in maybe The Tipping Point or one of his books, where they looked at ice hockey players and then really talented kids that didn't really explore how to master this talent, got bypassed by other kids who were not seen as talented, but they had worked on their skill, they had worked on their capacity, they understood the energy behind it. That's my interpretation. They understood the physical laws, the natural laws that entailed in that craft. So they bypassed those kids that had the natural inclination from the beginning. If you want to become good at something, if you want to become really masterful in whatever subject you have chosen, take the time to submerge yourself in this, almost as if you're taking a bath. You have to understand the front, the back. There has to be a perspective, a full comprehension of the full experience in order to really come into that thriving state in that subject. People who don't, they risk an egoic insecurity, and the egoic insecurity in our reality actually looks like inflated ego. If you don't comprehend the full dimensions of the subject that you want to achieve, you risk this insecurity to come up. You risk being ego inflated. You risk being seduced when others inflate your ego, when they try to convince you of things that are untrue or whatever that we have heard of in the past. Many people have seen beautiful, brilliant people come up, and then at some point something happened and they changed, right? Their personality changed, the way that they thought about things, their music changed, or the art that they put out, or the product changed. This also happens with entrepreneurs. They come up with a big invention to change the world. Their ego gets insecure, inflated, moves out of line, and here the pure intent that they had is washed away into something else. It's like a mathematical formula. If you don't have the whole formula in place, it's not going to show you the sum or the end goal that you're seeking. So you want that whole full submersion. And you don't want to feel guilty. You don't want to feel as if there's something wrong. You don't want to feel as if you are doing something wrong by taking time to enhance yourself. This is something that everybody, all of us, should be doing in society. And our society tends also to shame and make people feel bad when they want to submerge into their subjects and they just want to stay there and become better at it. Don't feel guilty that you want to submerge into your subject rather than doing other activities that don't reward you or don't fulfill your spirit, your timeless, your elevated awareness in the same manner. Number 4, many of the people who will teach and grade your art or your subject or your skill will be people who never managed to crack the code of success themselves. Especially when you're young, this is a crucial thing to get. It is a sad fact that some people, they turn to teaching as a way to make income when they haven't generated income in a subject. With that said, there's also many amazing teachers that are absolutely astonishing, and they're doing so much in order to move our culture forward, because we need teachers, right? We need people to pass on the information. This is part of human culture. Somebody who has acquired more knowledge in a subject, pass that on to somebody else. Again, here comes the intent. If you are a teacher with the right intent, if you hold the pure intent that you want to further and help others in this reality to become the best that they can in themselves, then you are on the right track. You're doing the right thing. When you're in that situation, taking life decisions based on the critique or the criticism that you get is a very dangerous zone to be in. You can't throw out your talents and skills and ability and capacity based on what other people are saying. You have to make sure that the person who is in front of you is a master, is masterful at what they're doing, know what they're talking about. And in that state, you need to reflect on what you're doing and comparing it. It's almost like a comparison, right? So you're comparing it to what they are saying. If you are comparing it to somebody who has no success capacity, who has no pure intent for you, and also don't care about how you do as a human or in your skill, that is not the right teacher for you. That is something that I wish I comprehended earlier. I think my experience educating myself in fine arts and painting and music and engineering would have been completely different. Fifth one, it won't be easy at times, but don't seek the hard. Many of us look up to others. Many of us might see an artist perform. We might go to a concert when we're young. We might see a painting, go to a science museum and see an invention that somebody has made, and really connect with that, and it triggers the purpose and the passion within us to come out and flourish into our version. It's very, very important to see other people achieve. Seeing other people achieve and celebrating that is actually you celebrating your own capacity within to be at the masterful state. So it's a feedback system that we have in our society. We celebrate and, lift up people who have achieved certain levels. And then we should also, in that same time, unlock or inspire ourselves to become that master level ourselves. So it's not idolizing. It's not supposed to have somebody at a higher level and you at a lower level. It's supposed to be, oh, this person achieved something in this reality. This is actually possible. Hey, I can do this as well. Let me go for it. Let me do my version. And then you are running this race back and forth. There is a pure intent way of doing achievements and celebrating and just exploring human culture. When we look at somebody and don't again, like go back to point one, don't acknowledge that there is a timeless capacity that then generates the time bound, that there's an intent that you must hold in order for your art to have a certain frequency, that there's a resonance that you're looking to achieve when you are creating, when you're in the creative process. When you don't acknowledge this and you begin becoming inspired or aspiring to be as somebody else, you're also not acknowledging, and you might hear some footsteps, that's just some neighbors, don't worry about that. You are not acknowledging the energy behind the art that has been made. What is this energy running according to? What is the principles? What is the morals? What is the existence of this being? What have they been through? What are they expressing? What are they singing about? What are they fulfilling through their art that is so important to them? If you can differentiate this, if you can see the difference in that, you would also acknowledge that you don't have to take the same road that they took in order to come into the same level as them. You are not here to become somebody else. You are not here to become a mimic and a print of somebody else's frequency. You are here to express your frequency. When some people become inspired and want to aspire to be as other people, they think that they have to physically become David Bowie or somebody else. That is not the point. That's not why he performed and did the things that he did. He did that so you could be inspired to become yourself in whatever subject that you want to be good at. You can become good at science by listening to a David Bowie song. Become a great chef. It's not about becoming him. It's about becoming yourself the most. And the more you realize that, the more you will also avoid seeking the hard, because it will always be hard if you are trying to be somebody else than yourself. It will always be hard if you have to walk the exact steps that somebody already took when they already gave you the data. This is what happened when I walked this road. This is this how it projected itself. This is the experiences that I had from doing that. You don't need to go the same way as people have done before. You can look at the data. You can say, oh, okay, this happened when they did this, so I'm going to choose to do this part, but not that part. And from here, I'm going to move forward in another manner. It's not always going to be easy to be yourself, because our culture, unfortunately, don't know who it is itself. So in our culture, we are confused about who we are. We don't comprehend the beingness. We don't comprehend the timeless aspect of us, the beauty, the magnificence that we are, in order to inspire and then evolve as a culture together in oneness. We haven't gotten that yet. You don't have to make it harder for yourself. You don't have to become somebody else. You don't have to become a mini version of somebody else. That's not what it's all about. You are here to be the beautiful you that you are. And creativity is always about expressing your energy, your capacity, your version of something. If you are not expressing your version of it, you are industrializing and manufacturing something that has already been done by somebody else. That is not creative. To be creative is to comprehend, okay, this is what's best for me. This is what I want to do. I like this part, but I don't like that part. I actually like yellow. I don't want it pink. I don't want it purple. And move forward like that. This is what the universe requires. The universe is here to explore. Basically, the universe is wave-based and it has many different frequencies. So it's an orchestra, an orchestral symphony that is moving all the time. You are one of the instruments that are playing the song that in order for the universe to express itself. Your song is very, very needed in order for the symphony to move. If you are not in the symphonic, beautiful, harmonic resonance that you're meant to be, then there's going to be a gap. There's going to be a missing point, and that is not what we're here. We're all orchestrating a song, a harmony together, and you fulfill a very, very important part. Your purpose, your passion, your ideas, and what you want to focus on is very, very important to humanity, to our culture, but also to the universal expression. So on that note, hit subscribe wherever you follow us, wherever you enjoy this podcast. If you're listening to the audio version, hit subscribe, follow there. If you're listening or looking to the video, at the video with me talking over here, then hit subscribe on YouTube, hit the notification bell as well so you get notified. And also, sign up for our newsletter on generationwhat's.com. My name is Kissey Asplund, and I hang out on generationwhat's.com. Bye.
Generation What?